So after filming my why you shouldn't get a hamster video, I thought it was only fair that I do a why you should get a hamster video because surprise, surprise, I don't actually hate hamsters. Shocking. One of the first reasons I recommend getting a hamster is because they don't need vaccinations. Generally, dogs and cats get their vaccinations once a year, but this just isn't necessary with a hamster simply because they don't make hamster vaccinations. Another thing is your hamster does not have to be spayed and neutered. It just simply isn't necessary unless medically needed. So since you don't have to go through these procedures, it can save you a bit of money. But please keep in mind, if your hamster gets injured or sick, they still are going to need to see the vet. So you are going to want to have some type of fund saved up. So if your hamster does have to go to the vet, you have the money for it. The next reason is that you can be gone out all day long and not have to worry about your hamster getting into trouble or getting lonely. Most of the time with dogs and cats, you really don't want to leave them alone for long periods of time, like the entire day, just because they can get into trouble. They also can get quite lonely and they do need interaction, so leaving them home all alone all the time really isn't the best thing for them. But with a hamster, this is something that you do not have to worry about simply because they are nocturnal/crepuscular creatures, so they're going to be sleeping all day long while you're at school or if you're at work all day. So you simply just don't have to worry about them getting into trouble or becoming lonely because they're going to be sleeping. So if you have a lot of stress in your life or you have anxiety, coming home and watching your hamster just do its thing in its enclosure can really help relieve a lot of that stress or anxiety because it kind of just takes your mind off of whatever's happening in the world and you just focus on your adorable hamster playing in their enclosure or doing their nightly routine as they always do. There's just something about watching an animal do its natural behaviors in an enclosure that really can be quite therapeutic to a lot of people. Hamsters barely shed. This makes for somebody who isn't interested in getting fur all over the place, or maybe if you're really allergic to animal fur, having a hamster may help because they actually really shed very small amounts. They do have fur, so of course they do shed, but they're not the same level as a dog or cat. They don't blow their coat, so you're not going to be pulling out clumps of hair. If you are, your hamster needs to see a vet because that's not normal. But they really do not need to be groomed a whole bunch either. You don't have to take them to the groomers like some really long-haired dogs. You simply can give them a little brush once in a while and you're pretty much set. Hamsters have tiny odorless poop, and if you're somebody who doesn't like picking up dog or cat poop, then a hamster may make you happy because hamster poop is hard, tiny, and odorless. So it's not gross and squishy like a lot of other animals, and nobody likes dealing with animal poop, but if I had to deal with it, I would choose a hamster's because it's one of the best animal poops out there. You don't have to physically exercise with your hamster. Dogs need to be walked every single day, which requires you to also walk with them, but a hamster does not. You can simply take a hamster out, you can play with them in your hands. You don't actually have to walk beside them. You can put them in a hamster playpen and play with them, or you can even have a hamster safe room where they can free roam and they can exercise, but that doesn't require you to exercise. So if you're somebody who's not the biggest fan of exercising, a hamster can be a good pet. The last reason is a very obvious one, but hamsters simply are adorable. They are like mini tiny bears. They're so cute. They have tiny hands, they have giant ears, they can have super big cheeks and be super fluffy, and they can look super chubby, but they're also a good weight without actually being super chubby. So they're so cute. So yeah guys, that is it for this video. I hope you have enjoyed, and I highly would recommend watching my why you shouldn't get a hamster video. It is really important to look at the cons as well as the pros when looking to see if a pet suits your lifestyle. And just because an animal has cons to it doesn't make it a bad pet. It might just not fit your lifestyle. I love hamsters and I can totally understand the cons of them, and I can look past the cons. So you can too if you want to, but for someone who doesn't like the cons, then it saves them from going out and getting a hamster. So yeah guys, thank you for watching. Bye!